Well, a lot of it's driven by the students who want to do it. I call it what I call an experiential framework. And what that means for me and the center is when students say that they want to develop their leadership potential, whether they're pre-med, business, engineering, whatever they want to do, we put them through either a 10-step or a 3-step leadership certification program or process. First thing they do is an application and interview. The second thing they do is they have what's called a 360 peer and self-assessment. We assess them on their core skills as a leader. They get between 10 and 15 people that surround them in their life to give them feedback on a variety of topics of leadership. From there, we start them on a journal of self-reflection, which they do monthly. We provide them a mentor in teams, a community mentor and a student mentor to work with them on various leadership topics. Then they take extra courses, academic courses in personal excellence, interpersonal skills, organizational development, principles of management, things of that nature. And then we have them take a certain number of hours of leadership training, and that training can come from anything from our internal lecture series to reading books, doing articles, going to conferences. And then from there, they have to have some type of leadership experience, whether that's in the university or outside of the university.
So a person in the community has to take a certain number of classes out there at the...
Yeah, there are a certain number of classes.
So students, community leaders, and whatever else have to attend those.
Yeah.
And the cost and expense of doing this?
Well, we just charge $75 for the assessments, and everything is it's pretty much free. If they're a student on campus, all they have to do is take the courses, and we coach them through what the different types of experiences we want them to have so that they can develop their leadership potential.
So at the end of the day, what do you really hope to accomplish with Cal?
Well, what I hope to accomplish with Cal is right now we're offering a certification model for students on campus. We offer a concurrent enrollment program for local high schools. We also offer a program at the junior high school level, and then our Department of Athletics has a program for the local K through 6. And our goal is to teach students of all ages how to develop themselves personally, interpersonally, so that they'll have more influence while they pursue whatever their meaningful life arenas and their interests are.
What have you had a chance to adapt your center for the athletes at UVU? For instance, Mike Jacobson over there, is he attached to any of the athletes, and are they going through any of these processes?
You know, we have some athletes that are going through the program. My background is in pretty much sports psychology,
sure.
And so when I teach my course, for example, the Principles of Personal Excellence, it is really a sports psychology class for
sure.
everyone. So we are right now, we don't have any formal connection other than through the No Greater Heroes program, but we are always going through the campus, and we are selling the concept of leadership to all students. And they're coming from business, they're coming from engineering, they're coming from all over the place. And we've made some offers to the athletic department about doing just a specific workshop for their athletes. I've done some speaking for their athletes, but we're waiting for more to show.
Be kind of fun for you to do that, I think.
A lot of fun.
See what track it really closely and see what kind of impact that might have on the sports program. We all understand in sports, you know, how do they say in the Olympics, if you've made it that far, it's like 99% mental at that point and 1% physical. What kind of students do you hope to attract into this program? I mean, you look out there across the campus, you got, I don't know, between 20 and 25,000 kids to pick from. I mean, is it a matter of going out and recruiting, or do you just put information out and attract those kids who think they might have an interest, or you know, what kind of student really enrolls in this? Well,
it's kind of both. We attract students who naturally have a love for personal development, leadership, and we have students who, you know, see a poster and say, gosh, I didn't know this existed. I really want more of this. And at the same time, we have a whole group of students who go out and speak in the courses, and they go to all the orientation sessions.
Do you encourage them to get involved in for instance, student body officers and things like that?
That's step 7. Step 7 is finding a place to lead.
Kind of an externship.
Whether it's going through service learning, whether it's student government, whether it's doing a project in the community, whether it's going through the CEL program, we really look for them to find a place to go lead. So we really look at this program, you know, we look at those who are going to go through the 10-step certification model. It's about a 100-hour commitment, which you can do over between 1 and 4 years. And so it's very flexible, but you have to be self-driven to get through it. So we really cater to the top 3 or 4% of UVU. But with one of the things, we're offering new programs now where students can consume leadership in a little smaller dose, and we're offering a whole virtual leadership academy to provide 1-hour workshops for anybody who wants them throughout the campus and the local business community.
So about how many people would you have enrolled right now in the program?
Well, we have 72 presidential leadership students who all live together as a cohort. It's the first living community.
They live together?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, the president came to me about 2 years ago and said we want to start doing themed-based living. Now, they didn't want to get into the housing business, but what we did is we offer 72 students a housing stipend, and we rent 2 floors of the Ventana student housing.
Which is?
Right across the street from the Krispy Kreme up there on University Parkway.
Sure.
And so we have 72 students who live in the same apartment complex together.
They're all UVU students.
They're all UVU students. We have resident leaders that coach them, and they are our sort of elite group of freshmen that come in, and we offer them this special scholarship every year. So it's the first of many programs that will be coming forward from UVU that have a living component, because we find in the research that when students live together and they connect together, it really enriches their experience.
I bet it would. I didn't have any idea you had that kind of a program there. What?
Well, that's just the PLP program. We have another 100 students in the Cal 10-step, and then it can really hold about 172 students, our program. And then we have a 3-step model that holds literally thousands of students who want to do it.
How do you reach this leadership certification program, and what exactly does that mean? Is the end of the program you're certified to do what?
Well, it's really our designation, and so we provide this 10-step or 3-step certification model, as I mentioned, with all those components to it. And what we do is when a student finishes that, and their step 8, one of their capstone experiences is they have to go and identify between 3 and 5 leaders in their field and find out what made them successful. And they have to that's their capstone experience. And then we do a portfolio review. Once that's done, that's step 9. Step 10 is for us to promote them. So students who finish the leadership certification, they get a special designation on their transcript. We write them a letter of recommendation for graduate schools or for employers so that the employer or the graduate school can appreciate what they've experienced and that they've gone above and beyond just traditional academics to develop themselves personally and professionally. And when I go out and talk to CEOs and businesses, and I'm sure you've experienced this as well, you find most people, whether they're in the technical field or the non-technical fields, they're looking for students who have the personal and interpersonal skills because they can teach them the job. And it's harder and harder to find the leaders out there.
It's interesting. I read a book a friend of mine wrote, a guy named Chuck Coonrod.
I use it in my class every semester.
The Game of Work?
Game of Work.
Yeah, it's interesting. His whole approach is, at the end of every day, you've got to know whether you've won or lost. And some of these leadership principles could certainly help a lot of young people.
They got to be able to scorecard their behaviors and measure and track their progress. You bet.
Your goals. I mean, when this individual comes through the program, he's certified, he has his capstone experience and whatever else. What do you look at that point? I mean, you say, okay, go out there in the world and do what?
Well, we hope that whatever their major is, that they now have a leg up. They are now considered a student of high potential. And so whether it be for getting into a good medical school or whether it's finding a good company. We had a student that graduated last April. He was going to go to law school. He went through the program and he was offered a position in a local small company. 4 months later, he's now the president of that company. They saw that he had high potential. He was a good communicator. He led well. And so we're really looking for students to be experts in what their life arenas are, but through the leadership certification really have those skills that really don't come traditionally to students who come straight out of academics without this kind of background.
Now, is there anything on their transcript
that
would indicate this person graduated certified in the leadership program at UVU?
You bet. What students walk away with, hopefully, is they're in a new place as a leader, but they get special recognition on their transcript. We have 3 different levels, one with distinction and one with high distinction, and then one that's traditional certification. And then we also